DEI. That's just the popular 3 words that have
It
been
seems that's going to be the theme of his 4 years. DEI.
girl, DEI, ICE, like everything just popping off at the current moment. So because he has signed that executive order, basically taking away all things DEI, companies have started to actually get in line with that, right? So we've been seeing an increase of companies that have said that they're rolling back on their DEI initiatives. Now, let me show you a list of the people that we do acknowledge. Okay. These are the companies. This is like a small list of the companies that have said that DEI is not affecting them at all. Like they are going to stick with the initiatives that they had in place because diversity, equity, and inclusion is literally what America should be because half of y'all came to stolen land anyway. So let us look. Okay. Costco. We love a good Costco. Some of these brands we don't got in Jersey. I just want to preface that, okay? They got Kroger's, they got Giant Groceries, Ben and Jerry's. We rock with you. Ulta, Macy's, Old Navy, Nordstrom. Shayla gonna love this. TJ Maxx, Walgreens, Dollar Tree, Wegmans, and some of the food places include like Mel's, Southwest Grill, Auntie Annie's, or Auntie Anne's. I always call it Annie, and Cinnabon and other stores, right? So it's just like that. Those are some of the people, like some of the companies and those food locations that have said that we are not rolling back on our DEI initiatives. Now, I want to give you a list of the companies that have said we are. The moment it was presented to y'all said, I'm snatching this back, right? So I didn't want to make a list for them because we don't really need to pay them no attention. So one of the places, Target. Another location is Amazon, Walmart, Meta, McDonald's, Ford, Harley Davidson, Lowe's, John Deere, Dreyer.
We don't know her.
Right. Tractor Supply, Brown Foreman, and the list continues, right? And I just the reason why I really wanted to talk about this today is because a lot of those brands are ones that we mainly use. And what are they? Target, Walmart, and Amazon, right? We're about to enter into February. What is February? Black History Month. If y'all remember, if you've been here for a long time, Shayla and I had a whole conversation and a whole episode where we talked about representation and about companies doing representation and doing it authentically. And if it's not authentic, you can keep it. Right? So the moment that this executive order was signed by Trump, I'm going to use Target as this example for right now. Target took Tabitha Brown stuff, black hair products, all this different stuff that are black owned, marked them things down and put it on clearance.
Allegedly, because I ain't see that, but I also haven't been to Target.
Yeah, all right. I haven't been to Target. So I mean, allegedly what I've been seeing is that. And the thing that irritates me is that if during Black History Month, these brands, like these companies and those like Targets, Walmarts and stuff, their Black History stuff would just be on set, like not even sale, but like it would be there. I remember showing Shayla, like, Shayla, look at this top, like this is cute.
They have displays and everything for it.
Yeah, like y'all made it seem as if y'all wanted to be a part of like it all, like y'all were embracing that. But the moment it's the opportunity is presented to you to let it go and to step away from it, y'all like, thank you. It was never authentic, right? It was never genuine, and y'all were just doing it to just get the social check mark off. Like it's like I can't even be mad because honestly, I would prefer a company to show me their true colors than to sit there and keep playing me in my face.
Yeah, but even if they have your true colors, the main reason why I wanted to discuss this is this whole notion or this thing happens, I feel like every few years, right? It's like a cycle. So as part of the cycle comes the topic about boycotting, right? Well, because we see their true colors now, right? Like we see that as soon as they had a chance to, drop the DEI, they jumped to that, right? Like they were hoping, they were waiting for that to happen actually. So a lot of like Black people, other people of color are like, well, we need to boycott these companies, right? And Tabitha Brown posted a video about this. I didn't watch the full thing, but as social media does, they only clipped a portion of it where she was talking about how, like, just know that if you do stop shopping at these companies or you stop buying my product that is sold here, that is also going to affect me. But in that video at the end of it, she also talked about like, but I do understand if you do decide to stop shopping there, right? Like, I understand there is the end goal, and if you decide to do so, then that's okay with me. Like, I get it. My whole thing with the boycotting is the same way I say that money talks. There is strength in there's strength in numbers. I think that's the saying. When the whole Israel and Gaza fight was happening, a lot of people boycotted Starbucks, but then a lot of people did not. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say they boycotted for like a week and then they went right back to Starbucks the second week. So, do you think that these companies, like you mentioned, companies that a lot of people use and depend, they go to often, is it possible? I don't want to say it's possible because anything is possible, but do you think in 2020, is it 5? I don't even 2025. It's still too early in the years. In 2025, do you think it is possible to boycott a company like Target and Amazon?
I think, like you mentioned, anything is possible. Will it happen? No. And this is why I think that it's something that would not happen, right? So I've been seeing, and Shayla sent me a video that was talking about this, is like, they talked about the example being the Montgomery bus boycott, right? Where all people of color, Black people are like, we are not getting on that bus because that is how you are treating people of color. And taking a stand on that, because this affected the large majority, everybody understood, like, in order to fight for your rights, you have to fight against the disrespect, right? That was an understanding. So what did people do? I believe for it was like 2-3 months or maybe longer, they were not getting on that bus. They were walking in groups. They were doing everything they had to do. And what did that do? That affected the bottom line, right? Why do I think that's a problem in 2025? Because we have people of color, and like we've said this before, it's not even just people of color, because if you are a white person who is...
Yeah, let's just generalize it.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. So if you are somebody who sees what these companies are doing, you're like, okay, well, I still need to buy my shampoo. I still need to buy this. I still need to buy that. And it's like, if you are not automatically affected, like some people, I've seen people say this on Twitter, say, well, I don't go to Target for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I go for my products. Like, you have people who have that mindset, who aren't thinking about the inequalities, the injustices, or nothing like that. They're just thinking about me. And it's like, that's why I don't think that boycotting these companies is going to be very effective, because not everybody is going to look at things that way. Like, you have to have a large majority. And that, as you can tell, not everybody can feel the same way sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a very individualistic society. And a lot of people, Latinos, all races, if you're not immediately impacted, you're like, oh, well, then why should I care? I don't agree with that. And I think people are just, they like to feel comfortable, right? They don't want to take that extra 5-minute drive to go to whatever the local store, because I don't care where you live. We have bodegas where I'm from. Bodegas are like just like a little convenience stores at every block, whatever. So it definitely is possible for me. But where Rebecca lives, you don't. Do you guys have bodegas?
Girl, we got bodegas.
But do you have one in your vicinity,
Girl,
like 2-3 blocks away from you?
I don't even think my town know what a bodega is. Like,
Okay. So the case in point, it would have to require everyone to struggle or have to go the extra mile to, see change. At the end of the day, these corporations like Target, and especially I'm very upset on the McDonald's one, because as someone that lives in an urban area, we have a McDonald's at like every block. We don't have a Whole Foods. We don't have a Trader Joe's. We don't have none of that. But we have all the fast food restaurants, honey. You could walk to them. So it's just like we are literally the reason why you are still standing. Because you know how people be like, don't lick my young? A lot of high echelon people are like, ill, you eat McDonald's. So it's like the people that literally carry your behind, you're ready to drop. And I think that's why people need to, you know, I don't want like know your value, right? Because I think when people don't value you or when people show you who they are, believe them. Why should people like us be supporting, these McDonald's corporations when they don't care about us? But they're at every corner. The same thing with like the bus boycott, right? The reason why they had to, break from their rules of like, well, you need to sit in the back. It's like, well, a majority of people that were taking the bus were Black people. So until they, like it hurt their pockets, because that's the same thing with racism. Racism didn't end just because, oh, wow, all of a sudden I read more books. So now I'm well versed and I know that racism is bad. No, it took a lot of like uncomfortable. It took a lot of hurting their wallets for them to wake up and not change the rules and the laws because they wanted to. It was because, well, no, we actually do need Black people to be a part of our society. So I think we're very individualistic and we have this mentality like, if it doesn't affect me, I don't care about it. And until that changes, it's not gonna happen.
I also want to preface by saying really quickly, racism is not over. We've just learned how to assimilate a little better.
Right. And we have systemic racism. The same way I mentioned, like, all I have around me is fast food chains. That is in itself a form of, you know, systemic racism, right? Because all the healthy stuff are in the affluent towns. They got a Whole Foods, a Trader Joe's, all the organics and all of this. And we have greasy and just non-healthy items for us to eat
And
and indulge on.
I just want to talk about, so when we talked about these companies that are sticking with the DEI initiatives that they have in place, I just want to mention really quickly and highlight a little bit of Ben and Jerry's, right? Y'all know, if you don't know, I love a Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's, if you ever see this, vanilla based milk and cookies, holla at your girl, okay? But they have, and I have a clip of it here. Let me just show you a little bit of like one of the posts that they had on their social media, and then I'm gonna get into it a little bit. All day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, lip to attendant, so that he never lifts a finger, 24. Right? So when you scroll onto their TikTok, you see them posting like all these different things like, we stand with freedom of choice, we stand with this, we stand with that. And there was a video that they did. I didn't download it and put it in here, but like they did a video because somebody commented on their post saying stick to ice cream. And they basically were like, we're not going to stick to ice cream because the like diversity, equity, and inclusion is what is integral for our society to continue and to literally grow. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what they said. And I was seeing that, I didn't go to the store and see this on my own, but allegedly some stores have been locking like the doors to get into the Ben and Jerry's portion. Like there's like a lock on it, right?
I hope that's a lie.
I mean, when I went to ShopRite yesterday, I didn't think, oh God, let me go look at Ben and Jerry's, because that was not on my mind. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm lactose intolerant, so I try to stay away. But it's okay. I could pop a lactate pill. Anyway, so I just think if you are a company are going to stand on something and you're going to have that represent your brand as a whole, stick true to that. I said before, if you stand for nothing, you'll go for anything. And I feel like these companies that did roll back on DEI, y'all don't want to stand for nothing. Y'all just want to sit there and follow whatever's being told to y'all. But the companies that are saying, no, we're going to stay firm on our beliefs, I believe you are standing for something. You are showing, especially me. I'm a Macy's girl. I grew up on Macy's. The coupons My mama always had me in there on a Sunday with a 30% off. Okay. They were not playing. M Labs, I used to be there all the time. If you like, you are literally taking a stand and showing, like, nah, I'm gonna stand on that 10 toes. And that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and also I just think it to me, it tells me that you think there is no value in me and my people. My dollars are not the same as the white people or the non-disabled like dollars. And I think that is so disrespectful. So again, like, yes, it might take you 5 extra minutes to go somewhere else to get your body wash, to get your water, to do whatever you have to do. But when I saw Costco on there, I said, thank God, because I love me some Costco. You guys know I'm a TJ Maxx girl, Marshalls, the whole companies. I love them all. But let's say that they did, we're not a part of it. I respect myself enough. And I also think, like, I'm a big believer, or not believer, I really want kids. So I want to do whatever I can in my lifetime to make sure that my kids have a better life, because the way it is looking, we're going back, not forward. So if me creating change means going to the bodega instead of Target, or going the extra mile, then I'm going to do it for a better future. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in hopes of making change. Like, creating change is not just gonna happen with in comfortability. You have to be uncomfortable.
And I just want to mention this last point before we move on. Do your research. Like, we gave you a list of certain companies that are saying we're rolling back our DEI initiatives, and then we also gave you a list of companies that said, nah, we're going to stay with the initiatives that we had in place. Do your research. Like, look to see what brands that you like, and if you do want to sit there and support the boycotting of certain things, definitely look into it. I promote you to do your own research. Don't just take what we're saying at 1,000% value. Even with the topic that we talked about earlier with the crash and everything like that, things are constantly changing. So definitely look into those things and get the updates that you want to get. If you are interested in learning more about those stuff,